Good morning. Lots of bright faces, that extra hour of sleep. Right. I am Justine Busto, lay service leader, and my pronouns are she, her. Challenged by our liberating faith, we discover deeper spiritual meaning, nurture loving community, cultivate courageous connections, and partner in the world of justice. Work of justice, but it could be world of justice too, right? Welcome to all of you on the live stream and in person. We're pleased to have guests with us in this room and participating virtually. Following the service, you're invited to join us in Freeman Hall across from the sanctuary for coffee and conversation. If you are new and want to learn more about this congregation, I encourage you to reach out to our Director of Member Services, Member Relations, Kelly Green. Her email, kelly@uuccharlotte.org. It's on the screen. And we have large print orders of service, personal hearing assistance devices, and an elevator available. There's also a hearing loop in our alternate worship space, the Bernstein Room. If you or your family feel a need to move or be more active, you may be more comfortable watching and listening to the service in that alternate space. We have coloring pages and fidgets for all ages in the vestibule if that is useful for you or your children, and nursery care is also available for children under age 6. And I have a few announcements. Our food drive starts today. We are partnering with Nourish Up to respond to the needs of our community by collecting non-perishable food items. We'll continue our drive through our next Sunday with more food drives possible down the road. You can find a full list of food needs on our website and member page. Let's pull together and show up for each other. Mark your calendar for Sunday, November 23rd for Operation Sandwich. Operation Sandwich is a wonderful opportunity to make and provide sandwiches for underserved communities right here in Charlotte through our partners Roof Above. We'll be making the sandwiches together right after the service across the hall during the coffee hour. This is a way for all ages to get involved and serve our community. If you have questions or want some more information, contact the Justice Ministry team. We still have a need for Sunday morning volunteers. This includes ushers, greeters, and coffee service volunteers. If you're interested in coffee service or greeting and ushering, please reach out to Kelly Green for more information. And more information about these opportunities can be found in our order of service, in our weekly e-newsletter, Currents, or on our website. Again, a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Whether you're here in person or joining live stream, whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, origins, identities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. It's good to be together.
Good morning and welcome. Welcome to this place where head meets heart meets spirit. Welcome to this time made sacred by each and every one of us. This space where we gather time and again, not seeking perfection, but uplifting connection. This is a home for all souls. For wherever we have been on our journey, wherever we are going, and for where we are right here and now, welcome. I'm Reverend Amanda Weatherspoon, and what a joy it is to gather together once more. And welcome to a new month of learning and exploration. Last month, we worked on our blueprint, designing and dreaming together. We tapped into our living legacy, and last week we poked around in a haunted house, discovering that monsters can be friends, and the things that go bump in the night are really just asking us to pay attention. November begins our new monthly theme of builders. Now that we have a sense of our blueprint, we get to kick into gear. So this morning, we begin with our foundation, the things that make us, the people who have loved and lost, and all of the transformations in our own lives that have led us here to this very moment. You may notice our shared altar down here. When you're invited into this place, you're invited to bring a memento of a loved one to remain throughout the service. And if you didn't get a chance to do so before the service, there'll be a time during the offering to light a candle and also continue building the shared altar. And if you don't have a special object for the altar, you can always write a name on a slip of paper, holding these memories in our hearts. So, we light our chalice this morning for the dearly departed, those whose lives built our own, whose love lives on in the blow of the wind and the rush of the sea, those whose love reaches out to us beyond the veil. Come, let us worship together. And in that spirit, I invite you to rise in body or spirit to turn and greet your neighbor.
Good morning. I feel there's an energy this morning. It's like buzzing. I am Paula Gribble, Director of Lifespan Religious Education, and my pronouns are she, her. I want to talk to you a little bit about memory. Humans are amazing. We get to participate in things and be around people we love, and then our brains help us remember those things and people after they happen. When we remember something or someone from before, these are special memories. I want you to think for a moment. Think about a family member. Could be a parent, could be a grandparent, maybe even a close friend. Now, when you have that person in your mind, think about what they look like. Remember their face, their hair, their smile. Can you remember them? I'm sorry, can you? Yeah. Isn't it wonderful how we can do that? How we can remember them sometimes so clearly, it feels like they are still here with us. Now, keep thinking about that person and remember a special time you had with them. Maybe you remember a book they read you, or a time you laughed so hard your side ached, or a time when they taught you how to do something, or just a time when you sat together. What is that feeling you have? What feelings do you have? Joy. Say again. Nostalgia. Contentment. Oh, yes. Happiness. All of these wonderful feelings you get to hold with you. Because see, the thing about memories is that they're often more than just seeing it in your mind's eye. Sometimes we remember other senses too. You might have a sound that comes with the memory, a smell even. And often you get an emotion too. The memory might even make you smile. I love holding on to memories and bringing them back sometimes when I miss the person, especially if they're no longer here. When I was younger, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and when I think of them, I can still remember exactly what their house looked like, what their pantry looked like, all the little Avon bottles my grandfather had in the bathroom. I love holding on to that memory, and I still remember also when my grandmother taught me how to cook chicken and rice casserole. And even now when I cook it, even though mine is a little different than hers, I smell it and I remember exactly how it felt to be in the kitchen with my grandmother. Even though she is no longer here, the memory of her lives on with me. And the things she taught me live on too. Hold on to your memories. Hold on to the feelings, because through your memories, you never truly lose anyone. Through your memories, they live on in you. And now it's time for our children and youth to go to their classes. We will sing them out on their way.
This is the time of year when the veil is at its thinnest. that time when light dances with shadow and transforms into darkness, often before any of us are ready. That liminal space between worlds, between living and dying. That sacred time which marks the end, which is really just the beginning. In the same way that creation often takes the shape of apocalypse, love also finds a home in letting go. All around us, nature shares its deep wisdom of love and loss. The leaf lets go of its branch only to fall to the earth and turn to dust, but not before it reveals its beauty, its final act of release. The wood burns in the campfire, spreading warmth and light, all while turning itself to ashes. Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. The night knocks at the door before we're done with the day, and suddenly the sky isn't as hazy as it once was, and the sun isn't so heavy on our skin. And however anyone feels about it, there comes a time when one cannot deny that summer is over and a new season has begun. A new season of our lives have begun. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. In the veil, it becomes thin enough that it almost seems like we could reach right through it if we wanted to. Maybe we catch a scent of a smell long forgotten, or the sound of a laugh we haven't heard in a while. Maybe we catch a glimpse of a stranger who looks, just for a moment, like someone that we knew, someone that was once with us that no longer is. And although we know what death is, at least we think we know what it is. At least we thought we knew what death was. We could have sworn we smelled Grandma's house for just a second, or felt the worn out leather of their favorite chair, or a few notes from their favorite song trickled through the air. We could say it's in our head, but really it's in our hearts. That's their new home in a way. That's how they live in a sense. Isn't that how we all live after all? Through the beating of our own hearts. Yes, the veil is at its thinnest. So we do as nature does, and we mark the time with beautiful traditions. Yes, we let go because we must, but the beauty of it all lets us hold on in the best ways. On All Hallows Eve, we welcome the stranger with treats and offerings, and we expect nothing in return, just the joy of giving is enough. The earth-based tradition of Samhain allows us to honor the sacred spirits through rituals of earth, air, fire, and water. Altars of beautiful marigold and a feast of colors are communally built on an altar to honor and remember the departed with joy and laughter on the Day of the Dead. Incense are burned and prayers are recited for the Day of All Saints, followed by the Day of All Souls. And someday, somehow, some way, we keep finding ways to create beauty where there is pain, because somehow, in some way, we understand the deepest truth, that there is no love without loss, and there is no loss without love. We are living in a time of incredible loss. Of course, we have lost people, but we've lost other things too, on individual levels, but also on the larger scale. We can't deny the impact of the pandemic on our day-to-day life. Our entire world shut down and everything changed. We all changed. We lived in fear of physical proximity, and for very good reason. People were dying by the droves. And at the beginning, we didn't know any other way to prevent it other than keeping a distance. And everything changed. something that could have brought us together around common purpose for the common good, provided another opportunity for extreme political division and misinformation. The price of everything skyrocketed, and we couldn't be trusted to not hoard resources from one another. Political violence and dehumanizing rhetoric became typical and expected. Perhaps we started trusting each other a little less. We lost a sense of safety. We lost a sense of general well-being. And beyond the pandemic, over the last several years, we've lost rights to our bodies, social safety supports. We've lost trust in our systems and our processes. And these days, it's hard to hold on to a trust in this democracy, even this time 1 year ago, when so many were filled with hope that we maybe just might turn things around a little bit. Well, that was a loss beyond measure. And what has happened in the year since is painful beyond words. And today, millions of Americans face losing access to food, losing access to health care. Already, so many face the reality of having lost their shelter and their access to the most basic of needs that any of us have. Loss after loss after loss. And we're expected to just keep pushing along, to tough it out, to get over it, to keep it to ourselves, but not here and not today. Today we hold space, not to fix or solve or rescue, but to bear witness, to witness love in this form, to tap into those spaces of transformation and becoming, and to remember and to honor. Who made the world? Mary Oliver asks in her poem, Summer's Day. Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what prayer is, but I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. Please remain seated for our shared hymn.
In the late 90s, I lived in Saltillo, Coahuila, Mexico. It's about an hour drive from Monterrey. What started as a one-year contract teaching English at a binational center extended to 2.5 years, and those were pivotal years in my life. I rented a room in the home of Amanda Lara. She was a widow in her late 60s. Her 6 grown children and many grandchildren lived nearby. So my single, orderly, introverted life was swept up into an extroverted, rambunctious, revolving door of family and friends and conversations I could barely comprehend. I arrived at the end of summer, moved in with my new familia, and plunged into the busyness of teaching language classes on weekdays, and on weekends traveling with local Mexican teachers by bus to other cities all over the state, and we were leading teacher training courses. In October, the American and Canadian teachers were told to keep Halloween out of Dia de los Muertos. In Mexico, Mexican classrooms, infiltrating Dia de los Muertos with Halloween commercialism was not appreciated. Dia de los Muertos is about honoring those who have passed. It's about hospitality and remembrance for the dead. It's not about fright, fear, or chocolate. I did miss the chocolate a little bit. So as that October progressed, instead of giant bags of candy in every store, pan de muerto, these wonderful sweet buns with crossbones of dough on top and sprinkled with sugar, they appeared in all the corner bakeries, along with the decorated sugar skulls, the calaveras. And the last week of October, Amanda Lara created an altar with ofrendas, offerings, in our house. Candles and marigold flowers, a Virgin of Guadalupe and an ornate cross, and a framed picture of her husband, Senor Lara. I recognized him right away. I passed him every day in the hallway, going from my room to the kitchen. His handsome face, with his mustache, shiny hair, beaming down from their wedding picture. Amanda had a giant framed photo, like a magazine shot, of movie stars, and they were walking arm in arm, Miguel and Amanda, coming down the cathedral steps. On November 2nd, Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, Amanda invited me to come with her to the cemetery. We took, if I recall, pan de muerto and maybe a little bottle of Cazadores tequila. That was Senor Lara's favorite. I remember the late afternoon, overcast sky, autumn chill in the air. We passed families at grave sites decorated with marigold petals. That's the Aztec flower for the departed, and you sprinkle the petals to make pathways for the spirits to return to the families. There were flickering candles, picnic blankets spread with favorite foods for the dead and also for the living. There was music from boomboxes, some guitars, and in the air drifting incense and grilled carne asada. And there were stuffed toys and children's bicycles at some of the tiny headstones. For the first time since I arrived, I felt a pang of lonely homesickness. Thinking of my small family of origin far away, not a person in that cemetery was my kin. I was in my late 30s. The possibility of having my own family one day was dwindling. And for a moment, that was a deep well of pain. Amanda took my arm, and then the opposite of pain occurred. The lightness and realization that everyone around me was kin. All their grief and joy was mine too. I was welcomed into this large family. My world was bigger. I learned many things in those 2.5 years in Mexico, especially about giving of time without impatience, walking alongside, offering gifts, flowers, hospitality, and memories, Sharing grief is a gift, and whoever celebrates with you is family.
Love letter from the afterlife. My love, I was so wrong. Dying is the opposite of leaving. When I left my body, I did not go away. That portal of light was not a portal to elsewhere, but a portal to here.
I am more here than I ever was before. I am more with you than I ever could have imagined. So close, you look past me when wondering where I am. It's okay.
I know that to be human is to be far-sighted, but feel me now walking the chambers of your heart, pressing my palms to the soft walls of your living. Why did no one tell us that to die is to be reincarnated in those we love while they are still alive? Ask me the altitude of heaven and I will answer.
How tall are you? In my back pocket is a love note with every word you wish you'd said. At night, I sit ecstatic at the loom, weaving forgiveness into our worldly regrets. All day, I listen to the radio of your memories. Yes, I know every secret you thought too dark to tell me, and love you more for everything you feared might make me love you less.
When you cry, I guide your tears toward the garden of kisses I once planted on your cheek, so you know they are all perennials. Forgive me for not being able to weep with you.
One day you will understand. One day you will know why I read the poetry of your grief to those waiting to be born. And they are all the more excited. There is nothing I want for now that we are so close. I open the curtain of your eyelids with my own smile every morning.
I wish you could see the beauty your spirit is right now, making of your pain. Your deep-seated fears playing musical chairs, laughing about how real they are not. My love, I want to sing it through the rafters of your bones.
Dying is the opposite of leaving. I want to echo it through the corridor of your temples. I am more with you than I ever was before. Do you understand? It was me who beckoned the stranger, who caught you in her arms when you forgot to order for two at the coffee shop.
And it was me who was up all night gathering sunflowers in your chest the last day you feared you would never again wake up feeling lighthearted. I know it's hard to believe, but I promise it's the truth. I promise one day you'll say it too.
I can't believe I ever thought I could lose you.
We will now name the names of those in our congregation who have passed over the last 5 years, after which you will be invited to speak the name of those you have loved and lost into the space with us all together. In memoriam, Barbara Bass, Dale Brock, Betty Burns, Bob Bushhorn, Dawn Crawford.
Lee Mobius, Marion Painter, Miguel Rodriguez, Morty Rubel, H. Paul Steiger.
Shirley Magner, Irene Wilkeson, Jerry Zeller, Richard Neff, Neil Sigmund.
Kathy Spencer, Eugene Todd, Ann Carpenter, Chris Clark, Brenda Dillon,
Donald Friend, Fred Hutchison, Ignacy Kuzminski, Tawana Wilson Allen, Ann Wood.
Larry Bennett, Zeke Ford, Chuck Kelly, Tom Lee, Michael Masterson,
Judy Reynolds, Becky Whittington, Ronna Abbott, Mary Adamain, Barbara Searing,
Ed Van Arsdale, Mimi Vollum, Bob Atwood, Ann Todd.
I now invite you to speak the names of those you have loved and lost into this space. They call to us from beyond the veil, their echoes of love resounding through time and space, defying the logic of our thinking minds. We know a lot about living, but not one of us knows what there is to know about dying. One day we will know, but until then, we can live our lives in such ways that honor the joy and the wisdom and the strength of those who now live only in our hearts. We prepare a place for them each time we choose each other, each time we share a smile or words of comfort, each time we show up for each other, each time we choose to love this beautiful and broken world, regardless of the ways that it has let us down, each time we choose to love ourselves, regardless of our shortcomings and imperfections. And we pay attention. We listen deeply for those echoes. We pay attention to those moments where we know that if we close our eyes, they are just right there again. And for the things we have lost, we honor the transformation of our lives and all that has taken shape. We honor the people who we were. We find a way to love and appreciate the versions of ourselves that were, in all likelihood, just doing the best we could with the information we had and the circumstances we were given. We recognize the wisdom gained through the lessons learned. And just like everyone who has passed before, we keep going too. We find the ways to build up from the ashes and to create a new form from the dust. We live our lives so that when we pass through the veil, which we will do so knowing that we really lived our one wild and precious life. And that if we're lucky, we leave a trail of beauty in its wake too. Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. May it be so. Blessed be.
Generosity is at the center of our mission and vision, and it is through generosity that we live our values out loud. What we give allows us to sustain the work of this congregation within and beyond these four walls. When we gather each week, let it remind us of this spirit of generosity and gratitude, recognizing the blessings that it is to carry the work forward together. Our November Share the Plate is with Roof Above, an interfaith nonprofit serving 1,200 people per day through a spectrum of services ranging from street outreach, day services, emergency shelter, and permanent supportive housing. Roof Above's mission is to unite communities to end homelessness, one life at a time. Here to share more about their work is Joe Hamby. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Amanda, for inviting me to be here this morning. An exceptionally moving opportunity to reflect and to remember those that we love. So I really appreciate this personally, but also on behalf of Roof Above. I bring you greetings from our executive director, Liz Clayson-Kelly. As Justine has just said, our mission is simple: to end homelessness in Charlotte, one life at a time. We serve those persons in our community who have nowhere else to go. We serve persons in our community that the world says, we can live without you. As a neighbor said to me recently, if you visit us at the Day Services Center on North College Street, your life is on fire. But indeed, it is a privilege to work and come alongside folks of incredible strength that face impossible odds every day of their life. It is indeed a blessing and a privilege and an honor to come alongside them. But again, our mission is to end homelessness, and we are delighted and so appreciate your generosity in giving and joining us in that mission. So what can you do in these very uncertain times? There are so many nonprofits just like Roof Above. I appreciate your lifting up Nourish Up. There's so many others. I don't want to begin to list all the important work that's being done in this community, but thank you for lifting up Nourish Up this day. But all of us face uncertain funding. So we thank you for committing a part of your offerings this month to our work. We also need you to stand up. We need you to speak up. We need you to ask the hard questions of our elected leaders. How are we prioritizing the needs of our most vulnerable citizens? And we cannot stop asking those questions. And lastly, we need you to volunteer with us. One of my heroes, Brian Stevenson, says this: we have to get closer to those places where people are suffering if we're going to change the world. So I look forward to spending time afterwards, after worship with you, talking more about our work and more about ways that you can volunteer with us. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for joining with us. This is the time when we as a community, we must pull together, and we are grateful for your support. Thank you.
There are many ways to give to our shared offering. You can text to give at 73256, or you can give directly online. You can also scan the QR code or give as the basket comes your way. Thank you for making this possible, with added thanks to our pledging members for their ongoing and generous financial support. While the offering is collected, you are invited to come forward and light a candle, honoring a milestone, concern, or celebration. And if you were unable to add something to the altar earlier in the service, you may do so during the offering, and there's paper and pens you can write names and put on the altar. Ushers, you may come forward.
What a joy it is to almost run out of candles. As always, when we gather, we don't arrive as blank slates or as fully self-actualized people who have figured it all out. Just like the world around us, we are a mix of joy and sorrow, beauty and becoming. We don't demand that we leave everything at the door, but instead, we grow our hearts to hold it all. This morning, we lift up a true joy from within this congregation. A very generous member of our congregation has offered a major matching gift to help us bridge the gap in our budget. This is a big deal and a tremendous opportunity for us to come together to ensure the health and the vitality of this congregation. There'll be more about this matching gift in the days and weeks to come, but for now, we share in joy for all the ways that this community, our community, is inspiring and creating deep generosity from within and beyond these walls. We send up good healing thoughts to Joe Hoff, who needed surgery after breaking his collarbone in a bike accident. As he heals up and gets back to good, we'll keep him on our minds and in our hearts. We also lift our hearts to those across the Caribbean in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. The destruction and the loss of life and home are extensive, and work is underway across so many organizations and helpers to show up for the folks who are left wondering how they will rebuild and what is next for them. There are so many ways to support all the efforts that will be needed in the coming days and weeks. Our very own Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, which is one of our national organizations, is already working with local partners on the ground to assess the need. And of course, for the millions who will be affected by the loss of SNAP benefits this month, those who are food insecure, those who already have to choose between gas in the car and food on the table, we lift our hearts, yes, but we also commit to the work of community care. What affects any of us impacts all of us. And if you think this doesn't affect you, you're wrong. Because when any significant portion of our population is at the level of desperate need, that is dangerous for everyone. So we show up. We continue the work of building a community that works for everyone, not just a few. And because there aren't enough candles, we light this one candle for all the hopes and all the sorrows, for this beautiful and broken world, for the ways we'll show up, for the ways we'll be needed, for the hope that abides and springs eternal. Won't you join me in a moment of silence for all the joys and sorrows on our hearts this morning? I now invite you into a time and a space of deep presence and rootedness, groundedness, and prayer. Perhaps lowering your gaze or even closing your eyes, being fully in this space. Spirit of life, we gather once more as a beautiful and broken and hopeful and present and committed people. The echoes of the spirits reach to us beyond the veil through time and place and space. The echoes reach our hearts, and the veil is thin. Maybe pain and love and loss, they're all the same. From that deep place of being, of connecting, of gathering up our hearts time and again. Those who've gone before live through us. We find our voices through them, their lessons and their wisdom, all the ways that they live. As we move throughout our day and our weeks and this year, as time moves us forward, and sometimes we almost forget. May we be able to search within our hearts and remember. May we make space for each other to be fully human, to feel deeply, to gaze upon and witness one another's pain and strength and beauty. These are the foundations of our hearts. We are never starting from scratch. And just like those who've gone before, we will also leave something behind. We will also continue to live through the hearts of those that love us. So while we're all here now, let's commit to loving each other in this moment, in this day. May it always be so. Blessed be. As always, the benedictions are in the form of gratitude. Gratitude so much for our wonderful, beautiful choir, setting the tone, prepping our hearts, sharing in the joy of creating this community together. Of course, to our greeters, our ushers, our tech folks, keeping our microphones on and the lights going. But a special gratitude to Justine. This is her first time as lay worship leader, and we gave her a really challenging service. To those who are new, we don't usually cry this much, but Justine and I have been crying every time we have gone through this service for the last week, and we've been crying since 9 a.m. this morning, so yay, come back. We laugh too. And for each of you, for choosing to gather, for choosing connection, for choosing community, and choosing to be here building this beloved community together. Won't you rise and bow to your spirit for our closing song? They're not seated, are they? Please keep rise. Yeah, that. Every week. Every week.
Our service has now ended. Please join me in reading the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Now you may be